Hi friends, welcome back for another Accent Quickie. I'm your host, actor and speech coach Kelli Ruttle, and today's accent is New Zealand. In this video, we're going to cover 4 sounds that make the New Zealand accent distinguishable from others and how you can make those sounds happen. At the end of this video, if you found it useful, consider donating a cup of coffee via the QR code or the link in the comments below. A lot of people assume that the Australian and the New Zealand accents are more similar than they actually are. And while there are some similarities, the changes that you're going to hear in this video, unless otherwise noted, are specific to New Zealand only. Okay, let's get started. Important New Zealand sound number 1, substituting the short A. The short A vowel sound found in words like half and cat has a couple of variations in New Zealand. Option 1. If it's the short A vowel that British accents will turn into the ah vowel sound, then New Zealanders will follow suit. So half will become half. Option 2. If the short A vowel sound doesn't call for the British ah pronunciation, as with a word like cat, in those instances, a New Zealander will turn the short A into eh, as in let. Therefore, cat will sound more like kit. Let's go through a few examples with some practice words and phrases. You'll get it, I promise. Ask, class, answer, rather, after, pass, Prancer and Dancer ate raspberries. Fet, apple, Galen, Africa, have, candy. Sam gave the man some cash to get his hat back. In case you're wondering which short A substitution to use, one option is, over many years, watch a lot of British television and you'll just naturally pick it up. Another option is to use Edith Skinner's Speak with Distinction. I love this book. She goes through every sound of the IPA, and for this particular vowel sound, she gives you the entire list of words that call for the British ah pronunciation. Important New Zealand sound number 2, to e. The short e vowel sound found in words like let and spend becomes e in the New Zealand accent. From you're just going to bring in the corners of the mouth and drop the jaw slightly, going from to e. That means that let and spend in New Zealand sound like lit and spinned. This sound is big in New Zealand, particularly when it's followed by a more nasal consonant. You might hear it in Australia as well, but it's rare and it would be in a much milder form. Let's go through some practice. Lid, kept, epic, knit, hither, vegetable, confession. Eric's pens left an inky mess. The apprentice, tenor, trembled with tension. Well done. Next, important New Zealand sound number 3, into unstressed schwa. New Zealanders don't distinguish between the vowel sound found in words like lit and tin and the unstressed schwa syllable. For those less familiar with the IPA, this schwa sound is the unstressed throwaway syllable that occurs often in American English. For example, this word, intense. An American will just take that first syllable and use the vowel sound, schwa, intense. We don't give it stress, we just throw it away. So anytime the vowel sound occurs in American English, a New Zealander will turn it into schwa. Lep, shep, trip, sick, dig, until, which, vision, Ingrid, his itchy, damaged skin. Philip is intensely irrational. Wonderful. And finally, important New Zealand sound number 4, dropping the R. New Zealand, like Australian, is a non-rhotic dialect. Now this doesn't mean that they never pronounce their R's. What it means is that they only pronounce them in very specific circumstances. Before a vowel sound, as in real or bread. Between two vowel sounds, as in hairy, or terminally, when one word ends with an R and the next word begins with a vowel sound, as in here I go, or where it is. One more quick tip of something that you might hear in New Zealand. In the Australian accent, there are 3 diphthongs that become wider or bigger in pronunciation. A becomes I, O becomes ow, and ow becomes ow. New Zealanders tend to do this as well, but it's on a much softer and subtler scale. For example, the ow sound in a word like cow, that becomes ow. So a really broad Australian speaker will say cow. But a New Zealander, while making the same change, will perhaps pronounce it cow. See, just a little less dramatic. And there you have it, 4 changes and a little bit extra that will give you a great head start on mastering the New Zealand accent. Again, if you found this video useful, consider donating a cup of coffee via the QR code or the link in the comments below. The Accent Quickie videos are designed for actors who only have a short amount of time to prep for an audition, or for people who are curious about the dialect and they want a little taste or preview. There are more New Zealand sounds that you can learn, so if you are interested in studying the dialect further, or if you had any questions about what we covered in the video, you can always find me at speakthespeech.net and reach out via the contact form. In the meantime, thanks so much for tuning in. Be safe and well, and break a leg.